Welcome to the Gen X Journey podcast. Dive into all things important to Gen Xers, from advice on aging parents, expert interviews, product reviews, and heartfelt conversations. So put down the joystick, grab your Walkman, dust off your old yearbooks, and welcome to the Gen X Journey.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to what is part 2 of our Gen X health conversation that Noel and Steve and I are having. And we're glad that you're enjoying this with us. Hope you've got some information that was helpful for you in the last episode. Again, going into this episode, we always want to stress that whatever you're doing for your health benefit, make sure you are consulting your physician, your health provider, to make sure it is right for you. But there is a lot of information that we've covered already, but let's get into the next couple of topics. And one of the things that I'm really starting to work on, and we'd mentioned this with Noel's stuff, and it goes hand in hand with nutrition and exercise. And you had mentioned it, Noel, and that's sleep. And so I've got some information from the National Heart and Lung and Blood Institute from the National Institute of Health on the benefits of sleep. As far as it goes with our generation, heart and circulatory system, you enter this non-REM sleep, your blood pressure and heart rate fall, and during sleep, your parasympathetic system controls your body, and your heart doesn't work as hard when it does when you're awake. And people who don't sleep enough or wake up often during the night, they may have a chance to have a higher risk of coronary heart disease or high blood pressure, obesity, or stroke. So, it's a very important to get that sleep. It also helps with your hormones. Your body makes different hormones at different times of day, right? So, it may be related to your pattern of your circadian clocks. In the morning, your body releases hormones that promote alertness, such as cortisol, which helps you wake up. Other hormones have 24-hour patterns that vary throughout your life. It's like in children, that tell the hormones that tell the glands to release testosterone, estrogen, and progesterone are made in pulses at night, and the pulses get bigger. That's really a bad way to put it. National Institute of Health. The pulses get bigger as puberty approaches. Horrible way to put it. Anyway,
they assume,
I'm just reading. I'm not even quote. I'm just reading what they wrote.
They assume that mature people are going to be reading this.
Yeah,
and they're so wrong. They're so wrong.
Yeah, but metabolism, the higher levels of hormones that control hunger, including leptin and ghrelin inside your body, that not getting enough, sleep can affect this. Decreased ability to respond to insulin. If you've got diabetes, sleep is so important for being able to respond to those medicines that can help you and your own body producing insulin. Increased consumption of food, especially fatty, sweet, and salty foods. It leads to decreased physical activity. I can believe that, because Noel and I are worse night owls than you are. I will say, Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
And I will tell you, I always am like, I'll exercise tomorrow. I'm too tired today, So, and then also the immune system and the respiratory system, they definitely have that definite benefits for the sleep. So it definitely is important as exercise, and a diet is a good sleep regimen, and keeping a trying to keep a regular sleep pattern throughout the weeks to where your body understands when it's time to rest. And technology, I am horrible at winding down my technology. The good news about it, speaking of technology, it's kind of been one of my friends is this Oura Ring, and I talked about it in our Christmas gift special. But I'm about 3 months into it now, almost 4, and it gives me reminders of, hey, start winding down your technology. Start start doing these things. And it's really having something like this, like you said, with a coach, having even something like this that I can track what I'm doing good and what I'm doing bad. It's been, I really am glad I have this, because it has definitely improved my sleep for sure. Yeah.
So I'm curious, going back to the quality sleep, do y'all remember your dreams when you sleep? Like, do you wake up and say, sometimes. Hey, that was some fun dreams or stressful dreams, whatever? Yeah.
There are sometimes. Yeah.
I feel like most of my dreams are continuing of my stress, like my work stresses. Like I'll dream about something happened at work, and twist into some bizarre scenario that would never actually reality happen, but my brain wanted me to dream about that way. So that's frustrating. I mean, it's been a long time since I had a dream about a naked girl, but
right, something worthwhile, dang it. Yeah,
that's funny. I don't know about y'all, but my wife has had the dream. She always seems to remember the dreams wherever I'm cheating or something.
Oh boy,
have y'all had those? Have your wives ever had those?
Woke up mad.
she's pissed off at me, like, and I'm like, what the hell did I? And she's like, I just had a bad dream about you. And I'm like, okay, well, can we just talk about this? It was a dream. It didn't happen, but it just seems so real. Like it seems, those dreams that happen, like, I don't know if y'all have experienced this, but like you wake up and then you drift back to sleep and then you wake up, like the dream that happens in that little time is vivid as all get out. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's so weird. But
I saw something that I can't remember where I saw it from, but it was like the same idea where somebody, I had a dream that you left me for a girl named Bobby or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And then he says, this is how you spin it. So whenever your wife gets mad about you, you go, well, Bobby wouldn't get mad about those things.
That's hilarious.
It would never happen, but it's really funny to think about.
It'd be funny for y'all to do that. Not me.
Oh, it's not happening either. It's just a fun thing to say. So funny. But yeah, those can be, but I'm with you, Steve. Unfortunately, I've had more stressful work dreams than anything of late.
Yeah.
I'd like to get back to, like, I don't know, being a superhero or being able to fly.
Winning the lotto.
Cool. Winning the lotto would be nice. That'd be up there. Yeah.
I could do that.
Man. So do you all have one of the other things that we have as a topic is, like health checkups. What have you all done as far as health checkups?
Well, I have a doctor that's, just refills my meds right now is all. But, we changed insurance. One of the things we have to do is a baseline study. And part of this, there's like incentives to us to improve our vitals and make sure that we eat healthier and stuff like that. And of course, it saves the insurance company a lot of money as well whenever I'm not taking meds all the time. And so, but it's something
in it for them.
Be better at.
Yeah. I do the annual physicals. I started doing that about 3 or 4 years ago.
So you do the executive physicals, don't you? Like where you go to Phoenix or something, don't you?
Yeah, my company pays for that. And I do those Mayo Clinic. And but before I started doing those, I had a doctor back in Houston that I would go to every year, and he'd do pretty comprehensive, like EKG and the whole 9 yards, and hearing tests, which I hated because I suck at hearing, and vision and everything. I mean, it just did top to bottom, literally, which is as we get older. I mean, we have to have those kind of checkups because it can catch something that we're more prone the older we get to have something, go wrong. And so the more that we can do that and get in the habit of doing that is a good thing, I think. But
I think so.
Just preventative stuff, I think, is just.
Well, you had mentioned that you also did that. I did this recently, that carotid artery screening and all that kind of stuff. That gives a little more peace of mind,
For sure.
Yeah, that was the first one that I had done. Don had done it before, and I was really glad I did it.
Yeah,
it was kind of.
They can do it. For those for the listeners that don't know, they can actually run a test. They can actually look at your heart and see, like if there's any calcification build up, and they can tell you like how much it is and which one, and what that means, and like they know a lot of information about that. But this is interesting. I had my last test. Or my last checkup, they ran a blood test. I mean, they've run all kinds of tests and stuff, but the doctor told me, he said, we put all your blood into we have an AI tool we run. And he goes, the first thing that it came up was that it said that you were 100% a male. And I was like, what does that mean? And he was like, well, there's certain chromosomes and there's certain like patterns. And he explained it all. And I went in one ear and went out the other. My wife was sitting there listening to this, and she was cracking up laughing. And I'm like, well, it's good to know. I mean, I could have told you that. Yeah. There's other physical features that confirm the same, but
and Noel also has had better dreams lately. I'm kidding. Better dreams than Steve and I at work to make him know I'm kidding. That was a joke. Anyway.
But it was wasn't prepared for that when he was going through all the test results. Like, we confirmed you're a male. I'm like, really?
Good
Come
to
on.
know.
Jeez, how about that?
That would be interesting. Like, they can check that now. Like, how close to the radar are you from not being a full dude? Interesting.
He's like, you're 100%. I was like, well, that's good to know.
That's good to know. That's good to know.
I was never in doubt, but
that's
okay.
Right. Yeah.
So
wow. Now I don't want to check that. That's weird. I feel pretty confident.
It got quiet.
Yeah. Wow. That's interesting. So have you all have you done like one of the things that I think colonoscopies, we talked about colonoscopies before we started.
Yes.
We've each done some level of that since we're now. And I think now the age is 45, I think is where they want us to start doing that for us. But and
it's, you go once and then usually you come back, every 3 years or something like that?
Yeah, I think mine's every 5 is where they want me to do it.
Every 5?
Yeah. Well, I think it depends on where, like they saw a couple of polyps that remove. I don't care. I'm good to tell. But yeah, they saw enough to say, I think sometimes you can come back at a younger age every 10 years, but they wanted me to just come and check on it every 5, which I'm glad for. I'd like, that's cool to know, you know?
Yeah.
And they also told me, don't eat red meat. Like, that's going to be hard. It's going to be so hard.
You know where we live, right?
Yeah, right. Texas. But I appreciate that. But I'm going to go have a brisket after this.
I was fed a steak in my bottle.
Yeah,
as a child,
exactly. So. Grounded it up and blended it.
Yeah, blended it right in.
Yeah. So the other thing that I am really interested in getting, and I know vaccines and everything are, you know, there's a lot of ifs or that's, but I definitely want to get my shingles vaccine now that I'm 50. And I've seen a lot of people that I'm pretty close to that has had it pretty bad, you know, and it's enough to make me go, okay, this is probably something I want to try to.
Did you have chicken pox as a kid?
I did.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Isn't that like the key thing? Like if you had chicken pox, chances are you'll get shingles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother had shingles real bad. He's a couple years younger than me, but it was like all over. It was on top of his head.
Oh,
he said it was just excruciating.
That's what I've heard. That's why I'm like, shoot me full of lead, man. Yeah. You know. But have you had that vaccine yet, or anything, Noel, or anything of that sort? Yeah, that's just one of those things that they talk about after the age of 50. That might be something to consider, and I think I'm going to go for it. So anyway,
interesting.
What other health things do you all have that you want to visit about? We talked about limiting alcohol consumption, except for at mancation.
Yeah,
it doesn't count.
Moderate alcohol consumption, ironically, ChatGPT says can have some health benefits. I'm guessing they mean like a glass of red wine for heart, right? Excessive drinking increases the risk of liver disease, heart problems, mental diseases, other diseases like lung cancer, heart disease, and stroke. So definitely. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I'll tell you. I don't really drink a whole lot, except for if I'm maybe on vacation or on mancation.
Yeah.
Like in college, it was fun, but it just I don't know. It never was something that I really felt. I don't know. M&Ms were more my weakness, but that's just me. So I don't know. Have you all started kind of limiting that too a little as you gotten older, or do you do that much at all? Or
kind of the same pattern as you, Keith. It's not something I do unless I'm on vacation.
Yeah.
But even then,
time to let your hair down, right?
Yeah, but even then, I mean, I don't go bananas. So it's just. I think the key is, not make it part of your normal,
every day
normal thing. Yeah.
Like I went out last time we were on vacation. We had a couple of glasses of wine with a group, and I don't know, nothing crazy, but it's fun and enjoyable. But it's just not what my world revolves around. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah.
But now I gotta cut down on M&Ms and have more radishes or something. So.
That's funny.
So what do you all do as far as, a lot of times, a lot of this thing now is, limiting technology. What's your all's opinion on limiting technology use?
Horrible at it. I mean, it's so hard to separate from it, but, I try to put the phone down 15 minutes before I think I'm about to fall asleep.
Right.
And, so I feel like I sleep better and, fall asleep pretty quickly after I stopped staring at the phone. But for my vision, I give myself, my eyes breaks during the day where I'll take my
Right.
glasses off and just stare off in the distance, or like I'll, stare at something across the room or walk outside just for a little bit because, I start to get a lot of headaches from just staring at the laptop nonstop and the other screens I got. So, yeah.
I actually, I'm the same way, and I try to. I'm not very good at it, but I've been trying to put it down more and more, and get away from it. But man, some it's hard. Why is it so
Yeah.
stinking hard?
Mm-hmm.
Like every time I think of something, I want to look something up. It's like it's crazy. Like it's crazy how much it's consumed my life as far as how much I'm using my phone being handy. Like I feel naked when I leave it somewhere. Like, and you mentioned that before too, Steve, in one other episode that you're like, man, I got to get home as fast as I can because I'm missing this thing.
Yeah.
So it's wild. It's wild.
I mean,
but
the truth is there's nothing in my life other than like a loss of a loved one that would require me to stay connected to my phone.
Right.
But like I can, if I'm separate from my phone, I can imagine all these work disasters that are happening, all these 911 emergencies are happening. When I get to my phone, maybe a text message. You just
right.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
get an ESPN update about some tennis match in Australia. You don't
care
anything
that you
about.
Never cared about.
Great. I didn't know that 5 seconds ago.
Absolutely.
And so I don't really want to know it now, but
don't care to. Yeah. That's funny. So true.
We had severe weather this past week. And I discovered at 4:00 in the morning that I am part of a weather notification service that calls you when there's severe weather in the area. And I was fine. And I'm such a deep sleeper that I was sleeping through the storm until my phone rang, and that's not something I can sleep through. So I woke up, my phone rings at 4:00 in the morning. Somebody's dead, somebody's hurt, or like there's something serious going on. And so I immediately like freaked out and answered the phone, and it was like, it's raining. I'm like, you're kidding. Like that's, kidding me. Like, oh my God, I'm going back to sleep in about an hour. So my heart rate was spiked. And
it's funny. Don's doing a better job of this than I am, but we've decided to put our phones in another room, and we have those Alexa echoes, but so we've told our family, like, if there's something up, they have our Alexa where they can drop in or whatever and say something. So we're like, we're not going to have our phones with us because we're tired of the constant jingles, the dings, the light flashing, and all this. Like, don't drop in until we tell. I'm kidding, but it's like that. You can like be warned. I know where you're going, you perv.
Dad, what are you doing?
Yeah, what's going on in there?
What's your favorite little rascal?
Why are you playing horsey?
What are you doing to Mom? Gross. My brain went right there.
The second you started laughing, I'm like, this is going nowhere.
My kids could drop into my bedroom. I'm like, why would you do that?
Well, no, you can drop. We have it in the kitchen, and it's loud enough that it can go ding, 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 and it'll alert us. Right, is what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
But not like right on our beds, pointing at us, like drooling. But we can hear it from the other room, like, "Hey, there's an emergency. Please pick up the phone."
I got you.
We're not that stupid.
So you have ringers on and everything at night?
Do what?
Y'all leave y'all's ringers on, and
so I don't ever have my ringer on.
Same.
Yeah. But the thing is that the light. We've read some things about the light distraction. Like there was a study that talked about the amount of different lights that are in your room due to technology. You think about like your TV's power light, the lights from your phone's charging, the little blue light that's connected to your bed if you have a sleep number. And they were talking about, I don't remember what session I was in, but they were talking about the amount of, they call it light noise that can affect your sleep patterns. And so, and one of them they mentioned is, you may have your phone on silent, but if a text message comes through, your phone lights up. or something like that. And like those can, even though you're still asleep, your brain will still witness that it's getting light outside, like through your eyelids or something, and it might affect your sleep patterns. So we're trying to do a better job. Again, Don's doing a much better job than I am, but we're trying to do a better job of moving our phones to like the bathroom. It's close enough, but and just telling our family, hey, do this thing through Alexa if you need us, and we can hear it from the other room because it makes a big ding, ding, ding. We can wake up to it, but we're trying to get the distraction away.
I have it, everybody's silence except for like my mom, my brothers, and my kids. You know, if they call in the middle of the night, then I've got all kinds of alerts that go off on my phone to wake me up. But
if my mom calls me, I'm gone to heaven.
yeah.
That'd be weird.
I would take that call.
I'd be like, I'll answer it. It's good. Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean though. Like you have certain people that you're like, this one is allowed to come through. And
any time of day, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Totally makes sense.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully you got some useful tips here for how to stay healthy. Remember that it's not about trying to look like you're in your 20s anymore. It's about trying to stay healthy and feeling good for your 50s and 60s and beyond. So hopefully you're able to get some good tips from this podcast today. And thanks for listening.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
Deuces.
The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in the Gen X Journey podcast belong solely to the hosts and guests and do not necessarily represent the views or opinions of any entity they are associated with. The information provided is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not be considered professional advice. Listeners are encouraged to seek the advice of qualified professionals for any specific issues they may face. The creators and contributors of this podcast make no representations as to the accuracy, completeness, or validity of any information, and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or any losses, injuries, or damages arising from its use.
My gosh. I asked ChatGPT to give me an outro, and it's like 2 paragraphs, so I'm going to do that. All right, well, we'll just go at it. Ready?
Yep.
All right, well, Gen X Journey podcast listeners, that's stupid. Hold on. I don't know where I was thinking.
Attention, podcast land. We are going to draw this one to a close. We hope your children do not drop in on you playing horsey.
I just read that and I'm like, well, I'm not going to read that. And then I read it. That's stupid. All right. Let me try this again.